I didn't step outside and run once. I did not run one time in that gear. I just brought it with me for banter to show people that I run. Hey guys. Welcome back. It is me. I'm just half ready because I thought to myself, today I'm going to do the solo trip review, but instead of just doing a talking video, because I usually tend to ramble like I am doing right now, I thought, okay, well, let's get ready with Renique and talk as well. I mean, what else? Okay, my face is clean and washed. I've already put on wiggy shirts. To get the hair out of my face, I'm just going to put this hat on. You can use whatever you like. Once you achieve the big forehead, that's when you know you're ready to start. I'm no makeup artist, so let's just see how this goes. You know, I'm like multitasking. I'm talking about my holiday. I'm putting on my makeup, and I'm also still editing the video from last night because it's taking so long. Like, everything is like going wrong. About my trip to Paris. I went by myself, obviously, because it was a solo trip, and I decided to take the plane there, and this was my first ever time flying, so it was interesting. I felt sick, officially have a fear of flying, so that's fun. So when I first arrived in Paris, I booked a hotel at the airport that I got off, which is Charles de Gaulle. I do recommend that if you get in somewhere late, that you stay around the hotel area. The reason why I didn't want to travel into Paris so late at night is because I didn't know the transport system at all. I didn't know if the buses or anything was running at the time that I was getting in, or how frequent they were, or where to get them from, so I didn't really want to be fumbling around when I got there. So plan ahead for the first night. I think the first night is the most important, because from there you can kind of see how everything else pans out. But for the first night, feel comfortable, you know, like get yourself into that environment, into the good state of mind that it's going to be a good trip. And then I move on to my next destination. I decided to couch surf for my first actual night in Paris. If you're on a budget, or if you just want to stay with the locals that are in the area, I definitely recommend couch surfing. It's just couchsurfing.com. Just request with these different people in different countries to stay with them. Obviously, it's a bit, you have to feel the vibe with that person. You don't want to just be requesting to stay in these different places and all these different people are a bit sketchy and they're just like, you know, we have to stay in the same bed because it's limited space. Like, honey, bye Felicia. Be careful when you do stuff like that, but I do still recommend it because I had a really good experience with my couch surfer. Because it's free, sometimes they might ask to exchange things, like just buying them a little bit of like a meal or something, which is cool. What I found where I was staying in Paris is that the transport was okay and you could get pretty much anywhere with the travel card that I got. So with the travel card, it was 22 euros and you could go anywhere between the 1 and 5 zone that was in Paris. That was the train, the metro and the bus. The train, no, the metro, what is it called? The metro, the bus and the tram. The tram, you could go on the tram as well. So that was pretty good. The next thing that I did, I was staying in a hostel. Now this hostel was okay. It wasn't the bougiest hostel. It was kind of in a dusty area. But still, I had a really good time, met some great people. It was called Jacob's Inn Hostel. It's a cheap place. It's actually near like a landmark, the big church. I think it's called the Sacre-Cœur. But the way I think of it is, like, I'm a very simple person. I can stay anywhere. For the last night, the bed wasn't that good because I found like some bed bugs, because I swapped beds on the last night that I stayed, and I found some bed bugs and I was just like, thank the Lord I'm leaving tomorrow. Yeah, apart from that, it was a really good experience and I recommend the hostel. Okay, moving on to the next place I stayed. St. Christopher's Inn has a bar, and you have your own like curtain and plug, and then it's better security. It's in a really nice area with a canal next to it. It's got really close transport. So that's St. Christopher's Inn. Let me look at my eyebrows. Right. Moving back to the makeup, I just put like a little bit of powder or like darker stuff. I'm probably like a makeup artist's worst nightmare because I have no idea what I'm doing. I swear, like, I'm doing the same routine for my makeup since I was like 12 years old. moving on to the foundation. I use Black Up because I'm black. I kind of use it as a concealer because I don't like it to be too heavy on my face. But what I learnt on the trip most of all was the fact that you should definitely have a solid plan. And I don't mean do this at this time and I must make time for this and this and this. Then I move on to the back to the... Oh my god! Gosh, how crusty are my... Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I booked it all through booking.com, and because I did this, for some reason I got these different perks of being a Genius member, and I don't know exactly what that is. I just know that I got free attractions, discounted like accommodation and things like that. So I went on this retro bike tour and that was really cool. I got to ride in this really cool sidecar. I made perfume. I called it the La Clinique and that's really cool. I also went on this Polaroid tour with this lovely lady and she showed me all these different cool spots to take pictures of. My favourite one. It was such a cool photo to take. I'll put all the links below because I got to take home something that I did on the trip. I had like zero clue of what I actually wanted to do while I was there. Yes. Another tip that I have about traveling solo is that I was kind of a bit lonely at times, and even though I had amazing people around me that were at the hostel and that were really nice and I went out with, it was very apparent that I didn't really have people around me that I knew from a thing. Oh, I've screwed that up, haven't I? I did get homesick. I think that's where the itinerary comes into play, just keeping yourself busy. I educated myself a lot by speaking in their language. I think it's a bit heavy, isn't it? It's a bit heavy. Oh, I guess that's the look I'm going for today. But to do with baggage, if you're doing a trip like me where I was moving about from hostel to hostel, pack light. I did hand luggage and I did a small bag as well, and even then I was just overwhelmed by how much I had. If you're like me and you hate traveling around with bags and whatever else, then just be brutal and think, do I really need this? Like, I was traveling with my running gear. I didn't step outside and run once. I did not run one time in that gear. I just brought it with me for banter to show people that I run. Be open to changes in your plan. Right, the next thing that I put on is a little bit of lipstick, and then, you know, I do this Cupid's bow. Being in a foreign place as someone that doesn't really know the language or how things work there, there was 2 occasions of these French guys in the area that I was staying in where they were trying to get my attention, and I think what was scary for me was the fact that I didn't really speak the language, so that for me was already quite intimidating. So when these guys were trying to get my attention, both times I realised that they were very hands-on. If you're a young girl and you're thinking about travelling, just keep in mind that these situations may arise, and it's really how you deal with it that's important. Okay. The way I dealt with it wasn't very good. I mean, I just kind of cringed away. And to do with like funds, have an emergency fund at your disposal. What I learnt about being on my own for 7 days was that you're going to be okay wherever you are because you have yourself always. When you come back to your own home, your own spot, you know then how menial some of your problems can be and how you make such a big deal of it and how big the world is. It sounds so silly when I say it, but I've done 2 trips out of the country now. Before that, I've never been outside of England. Both of those trips opened my mind up so much on how much of life I was missing out on because I didn't travel. And traveling by yourself is such a great experience that you should have, even if it's just a weekend away inside your own country or a weekend away like a few towns down. It's just such a great feeling. You know, I couldn't recommend it enough. So yeah, thank you again for watching another video with me, and I will see you tomorrow again for another lit video. Thank you guys for watching. Take it easy. Till next time.